Hey guys, and welcome again to the Gamers Roundtable podcast. We are a bunch of pseudo friends that talk about video games and other things that we like that might potentially not be video game related. With me here today, we have a couple regulars and another new face that I will introduce you to. But first, let's start with Manny. Manny, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right, man. How about you?
Oh, I'm splendid tonight. I'm glad that you're here. We got Charles. Charles, why don't you say hi?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Charles is never very talkative, but he does have some of the best intro of Gamers Roundtable history. And a new face that we had in for a little bit last week, who will more than likely be a regular here with us, is David.
Buenos dias, hola, all that good shit. What's good, y'all?
David's kicking it. He's another. He's gonna kind of level out the Canadian to United States
Ratio.
Unevenness that we had for a little while. So the Canadians no longer rule the game. Yeah, you guys are slowly becoming outnumbered. So thanks again for joining us, and I guess we'll start today with what everybody's been playing for the past week since the last time we spoke. Charles, what have you been playing?
I've been playing Terraria in preparation for the 1.3 update that's going to drop probably in the next month or two, hopefully. I don't know. There's no announced date yet, but it's a big update to I don't want to say Minecraft clone, but Minecraft clone.
Okay. Now, how many people collectively are playing Terraria? Is that like as big as World of Warcraft?
It's not World of Warcraft. It's like I said, Minecraft.
Well, no, I said is it like that in terms of like its scalability of people playing online?
What I know is I have 48 friends on my Steam list that also own Terraria. It's a relatively cheap game. It's like a 2D Minecraft.
It's not really like an MMO.
It's not an MMO at all. It's think Minecraft. You mine blocks and build shit.
Except less online, right? Less online features.
There are servers. They kind of suck.
Well, they got to be better than EA's. I mean, let's be honest. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a little sports humor for you guys that you didn't get. So moving right along.
No, it wasn't that what you said.
What have you been getting down with?
Who's echoing?
You talking to me?
You, Charles.
Oh.
No?
No, I don't think I'm wearing a headset. How can I be?
I think it's David. Did you have like some headphones or something you could plug in?
I got the headphones in.
It's good.
So it's got to be me then if I don't have my headphones plugged in, right?
Rookie mistakes.
I don't know. It seems better to me.
Well, is it?
Yeah, that's all right. All right. So anyway, back on topic here. What have you been playing, Manny?
Let David go first.
Okay, Dave, go ahead.
I've been playing a lot of FIFA 15, and FIFA 15. I'm really waiting on that Dragon Age Inquisition. Really waiting on it. So I'm really trying to save my money until that comes out. So yeah, I'm just on the FIFA grind right now.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that. I think Dragon Age Inquisition is going to be a pretty excellent game. And The Witcher 3 drops soon too, doesn't it? Relatively soon.
No.
No, Witcher 3 is February.
Okay, so scratch that. So it'll be Dragon Age then for a little while for me as well. Okay, I think David timed out there. So I think we might have fixed the problem. Manny. Nope.
Start to finish.
Oh, you finished it up.
I'm done.
Was it not?
Yep. Start to finish.
Not the worst ending of all time? The
Which
one where
one?
you stab, what's his name? In like your trippy dream where you're tripping balls, kind of.
The Citra lady.
The who?
With the main woman.
Yeah. No. I was thinking of the other. No, I was thinking of the other one. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, where you have to choose to save your girlfriend or like go back, stay and rule. Which one did you pick?
Well, spoilers for anyone who didn't hear like 5 seconds of Far Cry 3 spoiler. I picked the good ending in quotes.
So you chose to save.
No spoilers then. Yeah, I'm not gonna say any more than that. Except for like saying the ending is bad is making it sound like everything else was good and the ending disappointed. I thought the whole thing was kind of crap from start to end.
Yeah.
Yeah, the story was garbage.
I thought you were a big fan of the game. You just played it for the mechanic, shooting and.
No, I liked Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. Like and like my own personal rating, I give that game like a 2 stars. I think Far Cry 3 is better. And doesn't outstay its welcome. Like 35 outposts, the side quests were garbage. They would usually collect 3 things, come back, turn it in.
Mm-hmm.
And the progression system was too easy to max out too quick. I just the story didn't give much motivation for anything. And like I read an interview where I was talking about the main writer that they didn't want to unravel the riddles of the story. They didn't know that we were actually making some make deep commentary and games and what it means. I'm like, bro, if nobody got it, the problem isn't with everybody. The problem's with you.
No,
Sounds like somebody suffers from being pretentious.
No, didn't you see the quotes I had in there about Alice in Wonderland? They were totally like, that's great and all, man. I see that you're trying to have a message, but it's kind of hard to deliver a message about the state of gaming when I just spent like 20 hours shooting tigers in the face.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, but isn't that the state of gaming where you spend 20 hours shooting tigers in the face to get like this one achievement or like grind to like a reasonable level?
Isn't that stuff terrible? And that your entire game.
Well, you know what?
Yeah, I know.
that's where Grand Theft Auto really excels in that area because they keep a game that's relatively, in somewhat of the same aspect where the missions are a little bit repetitive or whatever, but they figure out a way to kind of tweak them up a little bit to where I don't hate myself, after I'm playing it for 5 hours, where it's still. I agree, Manny. Like, I played Far Cry 3. I enjoyed it probably a little bit more than that. I'd probably give it 5 stars. I thought the mechanics of the shooting were good. The driving.
Because I'm doing it at 5 stars. So you I have a 10-point scale. I always do 5 point like Netflix. Either I liked it.
Okay, well,
very simple. I love it.
I give it 3 stars. I like the mechanics of the shooting. I thought it had great shooting mechanics. I like the weapons, like the upgrades of the weapons. I also didn't like all the hunting that you had to do, and I thought that there could have been, a little bit more diversity in the animals. The driving was absolutely abysmal.
I'll say this.
There was a lot of.
Because I played Blood Dragon first, and I feel like Blood Dragon did what Far Cry 3 was trying to do so much better. Because the story was dumb, but it was like it knew it was dumb, and it was having fun being dumb. You know what I mean? The music, the soundtrack was 10 times better in Blood Dragon. Great soundtrack.
Yeah.
There were like 15 out. Like by the time I was sick of doing stuff on the island, the game was already over.
Yep. No, you're absolutely right, and that's why Blood Dragon I think was definitely the better.
So much better.
The 3 games.
Much more enjoyable. The full experience.
Yep. Agreed. Okay, so Manny finished up Far Cry 3. I myself, personally, I have been playing, I've played about 9 hours in the past 2 days of The Evil Within. And I'm going to have to say that it is one of the most fucked up, crazy, psychotic, just deranged games I've ever played. The gore and the graph, I mean, it's extremely gory, but I love that shit. I mean, The Evil Within is, in my eyes, what Resident Evil 5 should have been. Okay? If you go from Resident Evil 4, which was absolutely one of the best in the series, aside from maybe 2, if you went from 4 and directly to this game, the Resident Evil series would not have missed a beat at all, would not have skipped a beat. And you can tell while playing this game that the Resident Evil guys had their hands in it, because you got the over the shoulder perspective when you're shooting. Some of the enemies have that Resident Evil feel. You get a couple chainsaw guys with weird bags over their head, like scary shit. Where you're playing this game at night, I don't give a fuck how old you are. You playing this shit with the lights off, you get scared. Okay, you get jumpy because things jump out at you. It really has those moments that really make you kind of look around the room. And then it's done so well environmentally with the noises and stuff. It's a great game. You guys really need to pick it up. If you guys haven't played it, I suggest you go out and get it if you need something to kind of hold you over. Like I said, I'm 9-10 hours in. I'm on chapter 5 or 6, I believe, and it's just, the story is nuts. It's like playing Resident Evil 4 mixed with Silent Hill, mixed with I don't even know what else. It's maybe Condemned. It's a trip. It really is. So that's been my my big thing the past couple of days. So
I'll throw in this just to ask you. I've been hearing like one of the complaints is that at first it's weird because it feels like a stealth game and you really have to like sneak around, and all of a sudden you start getting a bunch more ammo and you start fighting more effectively, and then it feels like Resident Evil 4. And I guess the Resident Evil 4 was like, feel like a decade-old game. You know, third-person shooters have changed a lot since then.
No, this game, whoever told you that's full of shit, because this game is stealth-wise, in the first mission or two, yeah, you kind of got to be stealthy because you're in this weird village, like castle area, and it's absolutely true. You have no ammunition. I'm on chapter 6. I don't think I've ever had more than like 18 rounds in my handgun. Like,
wait,
no,
so you still have to play it as a stealth game?
That's the thing. It makes you use your brain, kind of. Like, it doesn't force you to play stealthily. You can play stealthy if you want. There's certain situations where you can't, where you need just brute firepower to get through, and you have that. I mean, you have a handgun, you have a shotgun, you have a crossbow that has all these different heads that you can manipulate and change on these arrows by deactivating traps. You can set bear traps to trap zombies, tripwires, timed freeze arrows that freeze them all, and then you can smash the shit out of them. They break into ice cubes everywhere. I mean, it's really well thought out. And no, it doesn't force you to be stealthy, but it does force you to use your brain and not be an idiot and unload 40 rounds into one zombie. You know what I mean? Like, if you play the game the right way, you'll have no problem with the ammunition that's given to you.
See, that's the problem, though. I think for a lot of, like, I don't want to be told how to play a game the right way. Do you know what I mean? No, it's fine. I just prefer more choice in action when I'm.
Well, you know what? It does have a setting where you can put it on a different mode where the ammo is more abundant and stuff. It's an easier gameplay setting, but the one it recommends playing on, the normal mode, which is called survival, it makes ammunition and health somewhat scarce.
I got a question for you, Eric.
It's fine. I mean,
that type
people.
of game.
This game is getting some mixed reviews.
Yep.
What was that, David?
I'll wait. No, I'll wait for you. Go ahead.
I didn't hear what he said. Oh, I was just saying, it's been getting some mixed reviews. Some people like it. Some people think it's mediocre. No one's saying it's outright bad. No one is saying this is an outright terrible game. But some people are saying it's okay to mediocre. Like okay, I mean like 80s to mediocre. Okay, like 80s, 90s. Like it's good. It's okay. Going in that kind of mediocre, which is fine. or Resident Evil. It seems like there's
I
something
would
for you.
totally recommend it if you like the Resident Evil series, if you like the Silent Hill series, if you like any game that fucks with your head. The story is incredible. I'm typically very, very hard on survival horror genre just because that's my favorite, genre. I mean, aside from the fantasy RPGs and shit, survival horror has always been, I mean, I have Castlevania crazy shit like all over my fucking house, like, it's a big thing for me. So I would definitely recommend. I mean, right now I'm going to give it probably like an 8 out of 10. I just need to see like what the ending is going to be like before I kind of give it my full.
All right, cool.
Eric, have you played Metro Redux?
Actually, no, I haven't, and I asked Brody about it a couple weeks ago, and he recommended it to me. That's like the Nazi zombie kind of thing, right?
No, that's Wolfenstein you're thinking about, I think.
Oh no, I'm thinking of Metro. Metro Last Light, is that the one?
I don't think it's Nazis in Metro Last Light.
The post-apocalyptic ones where you're in Russia and it's very survival kind of oriented.
Yeah, I think you would like that because they make it real scarce with the ammunition on that game too. But you could switch it to make it more of a Call of Duty kind of campaign kind of game too. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll write that down. What's it called? Metro
Redux. It's 2 games in one for $50 on Xbox One or PS4.
Okay. I will say I don't know if maybe buy it outright because that game is kind of it's not for everybody, that's for sure. It's not one of those easy recommendations. Some people just flat out hate that you have to manage filters, that just kind of your bullet, the kind of limited ammo you, the resource man.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely check that out. Thanks for the recommendation.
If there's a demo, I would totally say just check out the demo, see what you think.
Right. Well, I'm sure I can find out.
Right?
Yeah. I'll buy it on eBay. If I waste $15, big deal.
Yeah. Totally. If you can get it on the cheap, go for it.
Yeah, you can actually get it on the Xbox Marketplace for $25 each if you just want to try one at a time.
No big deal. All right.
One than the.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so moving along a little bit here, let's hit one or two news things quick before we get to our list. Our topic today, by the way, is our favorite side quests and little nuggets of fun to do on the side of the main storyline of your favorite game. But before we get there, let's hit 2 quick news things. And I know we had spoken about this prior to the podcast going live, but there is a new game coming out. And David, why don't you give us the premise of it and the name and all that good stuff?
Okay, the game is called Hatred. The trailer, you can find it, online. But essentially, it's just some emo guy who basically tells you from the get-go, from Jump Street, my name is not important. And whenever they say that kind of thing to you, that lets you know the story's probably going to be ass. So he basically told you, you know what? You don't need to know my name. I'm tired of this world. I'm tired of all these. I forgot the correct words he used, but he basically just called all the human beings like little worms. And he basically just steps outside his front door and he just starts letting everybody on the street, sidewalks just have it. And it has this kind of view. Everyone tells me it's similar to a game called Postal. Now, I'm not privy to Postal. I guess it was a PC game back in the day that got banned or something like that. But from what everyone tells me, though, it's very similar to this game. And from this, I was watching a video on YouTube, and a guy was actually showing a comparison of the guy who did the Columbine shootings and the Virginia Tech shootings and how the video they made before they did those shootings were so similar to the trailer of the game that it was almost astonishing, and that's why it's had a huge outrage among gamers. So you got people trying to boycott it. You got people trying not to discuss it at all because they don't want to give it attention. You got conspiracy theorists thinking that this game is coming out for one reason and one reason only, to help, the agenda that games are bad for kids, and it's a lot of stuff going on. So, yeah, that's basically the synopsis.
How do you?
Some guy going around killing shit. My opinion on the game is, you know, all right, I've heard a lot of people say, well, we got GTA. I mean, how many times have we just gone around getting 5 stars shooting everyone up all day? I mean, we do it all the time. But GTA's main purpose isn't shooting people up, though. Like, that's a choice you can make within the game. The fact that this game seems like, well, there's nothing to do but kill people. And then the fact that they zoom in on the actual kills, like, as soon as you're about to, you know what I'm saying, in the trailer, he took like an innocent young woman. She's begging for her life. He grabbed her by her hair and just shot her dead through her neck. I'm like, damn. And it's all in black and white. It's a real gritty palette, like kind of color scheme. Like it looks real dirty, real like it's for a niche crowd. You can tell. And not that many people I think are gonna brag about. Yeah, man, I got that hatred. People gonna be like, bro, is there something wrong in your life you want to talk about? Like it's one of those games, like. But I'd like you guys to go ahead and put your 2 cents in.
Now it's only going to be on PC, right?
Yeah. Unless it becomes hella popular on PC, and then all of a sudden you get a hatred too.
I think it does have the potential. Sadly, in the world that we live in, I think it does have the potential to become a cult following type, you know, B movies type game where people are really going to be getting into it and not that doesn't mean you're a serial killer or you're a mass murderer if you're playing the game because we all take on roles when we play RPG games, you know. That's
have you seen
what? What is it?
It's a hatred.
No, I haven't actually.
Hatred. I will say, David, I don't think you did I don't think you did this thing enough justice because he says go shoot it. It's really not just going out shooting people like generic people. It's this guy is raging, like he even uses the word genocide. This guy is like raging, he's angry, and he's going to do sort of a Columbine shooting, and his targets are specifically police officers and innocent civilians on the street, and it revels in murder. It's not like, oh, I'm playing like Commando, the video game, where it's Arnold versus like the Panama Army or something like that. It's nothing like it's I have a shotgun trench coat, I'm going to go out, and there's this guy begging for his life, and I'm going to stab him in the throat 5 times. It's very distinctly different from just I'm going on a rampage in GTA. Oh no, he can cops.
Who funded the game?
They
Who
punish
funded this game?
me for being bad.
I'm not sure.
Huh? I'm sick of. I'm sick of how PC gaming has as soon as someone starts dropping the politically correct word around, you know they're a douchebag. But anyway, I'm sick of how PC gaming has become, or not like PC gaming and politically correct gaming has become. I'm kind of sick of people being nice. I think maybe gamers don't necessarily need to be as nice as they should. And there's just some more controversy now. Like there's a Polygon story going around that one of the main guys at the studio follows and is active with a neo-Nazi group in Poland.
Yeah, I saw that. I read that article.
And he's like claiming ignorance, like no, I'm not a neo-Nazi. I don't support this group. I just follow them because they're pretty good reporters and they're telling the truth. That kind of
right.
You support them, but
the claim that somebody is telling the truth is basically saying, "Hey, I support these guys."
Mm-hmm.
No, these guys are telling the truth. No. I didn't know they were a hate group. I didn't know anything about they were going out beating up people. I just follow them because they're telling me stories and news that I'm not hearing from other sources. They're telling the truth over here. Which is basically, I don't know. The whole thing seems really weird and angsty, and just sort of angry. Just
yeah. Well, I think it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I know it's getting it's coming under a lot of fire, and people are requesting that it be pulled from production and all this other shit. I don't think they're going to stop. I think they're gonna go for it because of the small market, niche people that they can attract.
Yeah. I don't think it should be banned. I mean, I'm not.
It's not.
Like someone
banned.
It's
I don't think that it's.
No, that's what I'm saying. I would like to put it better. I would rather people vote with their wallets and let these guys put all their money and hard work into it. And if there really isn't a market and people think this is gross, don't buy it, don't support it. And then you know what? When they go out of business, they went out of business because they made a gross product that nobody wanted.
That's exactly what the case should be. Like they shouldn't be banned because freedom of expression, but they shouldn't be supported or paid any mind for their atrocities against humanity. because that's the best way to handle it. Is just like, okay, this thing happened. Let's not do anything. Let's literally not buy them. Let's not support them. Let's not give them our money, and they lose.
Yep. That's how it's going to go down, and I think that they're going to get kind of what they deserve in that aspect, and
yeah, but the problem is that's not what's going to go down. People are going to talk about it. People are going to make a big fuss about it, and it's going to get them publicity. And there's no such thing as bad publicity.
I wonder how many people
There isn't.
People are gonna buy it just because they've heard, oh, this is the game that's not politically correct.
It's going to be. I mean, if you think about it, it's going to be the mainstream taboo game that everybody talks about how horrifying and terrible it is, and that's going to make every single person be like, I need to fucking play this game. I need to try it, and see what's going on. And everybody's going to say to themselves, well, internally, well, I know I'm not a bad person. It's just a game. I'm just going to play.
But the problem is that bad people will get their hands on it.
Well, yeah, but bad people get their hand.
It will inspire them to do bad things, but even then, like, any random thing is going to inspire a bad person to do bad things anyway. So.
Right.
And not only that, you also got to take into account it's a PC game, so a lot of people are going to get these keys for very cheap. So you could very well have this game sell very well just because it's $10.
Yep. So I'm saying,
if
people are going to be picking it up. It's just inevitable. But
also, Epic Games, they've distanced themselves from the game. Now that it's got this bad publicity, now Epic Games wants to kind of, make it seem like, oh, well, this is all their fault. We just let them use their engine.
It is their fault. I mean, it's an engine. All Epic does is make the engine. They shouldn't be held accountable for what something does.
But I mean, at the end of the day, we don't really blame Epic anyway. I think it was kind of paranoid for them to, what I'm saying?
No. It's fine. And if people are asking them about this game, they're like, "Oh no, dude, we ain't got nothing."
It'd be like blaming the person who invented the chair for somebody getting beaten to death with a chair. It's not the same thing. Not even close. What is the intended usage of chair? Sit in it, not beat somebody to death with it.
Right.
I get it though. Someone asked
for a bad purpose does not necessarily mean the person who invented the item should be blamed for it.
No, but I get it. If someone straight up, if people are asking them repeatedly, I can understand why they say, "Hey, we ain't got nothing to do with this." Do you know what I mean?
Right. All right. Well, moving along a little bit here because we can argue about this all night. Real quick.
Were we arguing?
But yeah.
We could passionately agree here all night.
Yeah. All right. So 2 other real quick ones, and then we'll get on to the topic. Manny, did you see the Far Cry 4 website launched?
I did not.
How about any of you guys? Have you guys seen the Far Cry 4 website? Looks pretty sweet.
I haven't seen the website, but I have seen Angry Joe play a co-op of it, and it looks pretty sweet.
Yo, I am pumped to ride on fucking elephants and shoot the fuck out of people.
Man, I saw him open up that zoo. I was like, oh, this is cracking, man. Yeah, just to have them distract everybody, that just looks so cool. Like,
I know. I think it's going to be crazy. I really hope that they kind of get this game right this time because they've had they're going to. Well, if they play off of 2, because I think 2 is better than 3. If they bring some new elements, and like I said, if they make it a shorter game with a little bit better storyline, I think, and the villain looks pretty fun this time around,
Yeah, I feel like Voss was such a waste. Like, he was only interesting for like a little bit, then he disappears, then he gets all weird. Like, are you Voss? Are you becoming like him? And then they kill him and he's gone for like the rest of the game.
Yes.
What a waste.
Yeah,
hopefully this guy won't be there for like
agree.
5.
He was very memorable, though. I will give him that. So, the website is up.
Very bad at killing people. Very bad at killing people. I'll say that, though.
So Ubisoft launched a website. It's got a bunch of cool videos and a bunch of interactive stuff on it. So you can kind of go over there and check that out. It comes out November 18th. It's going to be pretty sweet. So aside from that, there are two other real small ones. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Nintendo recently posted a couple job listings for software engineers to oversee graphic techs for a potential next-gen system. It's pretty much what they were hinting at. They're looking for people to help them develop a next-gen system. What do you guys think about that? Do you think it's time that they finally stepped up to the plate?
Well, the problem is they're already at their next gen.
With the Wii U?
The Wii U was their next gen. That was their next gen launch. It's about time for them to get a new gen, yes, but
right. Well, that's what I meant.
It's important to keep in mind though that these companies, like I think some people think it's kind of weird, like these companies, they'll release something and then they won't do anything for a while. No, their R&D labs are always working on something.
Mm-hmm.
Always. There's like 100 different DS variations or Wii variations that maybe they work on for years that you never see the light of day. So there's definitely prototypes on the board already. They or maybe will help you take it in a new direction. But just like any company, they're always making everything all the time, these big 10 companies.
Yeah, but okay, so my question to you was, do you think that they're kind of like ramping this up because of the,
shit, like
year that they've
so like pushing forward what they may already have on the table and say like, let's speed this up, let's get this out there now. They probably do need another bump if the Wii U still isn't on at parity with the Xbox One or PS4, right? No.
Right. That's what I'm wondering. It's like, are they feeling the heat, and they're just like, all right, well, shit, we got to get something out now that competes with everything else that's going on because we got smoked last year.
Even though if they're still barely hiring like GPU next gen guys now, how long until they roll this thing out?
I don't know. Maybe Christmas next year.
Oh, that's way too early.
That wouldn't surprise me though, if they decided to do something.
No, I mean,
for next year.
You could be done.
Then they're much further along than they're saying, and that those guys are coming in to do like extra side work. Prototype, and you're already testing it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, they could
have
be
an idea what it can do.
They could be hiring these people on to test it and to put some last improvements on whatever prototype they have before it goes into content lock.
Because like a year to turn around the system is like almost nothing.
But
it's
Nintendo might just do it anyway because they're desperate.
Right. That's what I'm thinking.
If they do push it that fast, though, it'll flop.
Definitely.
Unless, of course, they pull some miracle shit out of nowhere.
I don't know what's going to happen. It's just it's going to be interesting, I think.
A realistic launch for something like this would be maybe Q2, 3, 4 of 2016. They already have titles slated for release in 2015, so I doubt that they would release these big titles, especially something like drawing off of their Legend of Zelda. Why would they release the Legend of Zelda game in 2015 and then release a new console immediately after that?
Are they on the Wii or the new console, right?
I suppose, but I mean, it's kind of a waste to release a game which is, like one of their bread and butter games, and then immediately release a new console.
Hey, they did it already with the last Zelda game. Remember Twilight Princess? That's literally exactly what
I was just going to say that. They have no qualms about at all. They're probably the front runners of the video game console developers that aren't afraid to do that.
So they're the front runners of making bad decisions.
Pretty much. Well, I mean, yeah. Look at everything
they did last year.
Everything past Nintendo 64 has, been pretty much a failure. So,
except the first Wii, that was a success.
The first Wii was good.
I don't consider the first Wii a success at all.
I feel like if they if they're about to release a new console, they would be hiring marketing people first. because the people who did marketing for Wii U are terrible, and they should all be fired and replaced.
Well,
Should,
their
but
biggest
should.
problem was naming the next system the Wii U. You should have gave it a whole new name.
They can still call it the Wii U, but they just need to make a very significant distinction between this Wii U here is completely different than the Wii. It's not like some sort of like tablet extension of the Wii, which is originally what I thought the Wii U was.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Casuals thought that was just a controller for the Wii.
Yeah. That's originally what I thought that was until, I had a second glance at it. So if I had owned a Wii, I wouldn't have considered buying a Wii U until I figured out that the games are released on Wii U and not Wii, and they're different.
That controller is miserable, by the way.
It's not that bad.
No, I would rather use a Jaguar controller than a fucking Wii U controller, right?
Not that bad.
I'd rather use a PSP with one analog stick.
Yeah, with the broken analog. Yeah.
I'd rather use that. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, I'd rather use a PS1 DualShock controller with one of the DualShocks broken with a thumbtack jammed into the fucking thing, and that's your analog stick. I'd rather use that with no triangle button either. You gotta use a piece of gum that you stuck in there.
It's got its applications though. This thing does have its applications.
Oh yeah, I like the Wii U gamepad, but the problem I had with it was when I had one. This is one of the reasons why I ended up getting rid of it. The distance you're allowed to have from your system is so short. Like I would take it to the bathroom thinking, oh, I can take a dump and play my Wii U, and then it'll go beep beep beep, and it'll be like, oh, you're too far away from your Wii U, and I'd be like, fuck, I'm only like 10 feet away. Like what the? I mean, of course I'm exaggerating, but I'll be in the living room, and I'm like, yo, I'm having a problem sitting on the sofa with this game.
The volume control.
A lot of that has to do with your how thick your walls
even
are
know
and stuff
that.
like that, or if there's other interference.
Right.
But it really made it seem like it was going to be an extension of your system where you could have it anywhere in your house. Like man, they should have gave a lot more, string to it. Let you be a lot farther away with it.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed that Nintendo doesn't fuck up the next one.
And to comment on that, I actually think the Wii is a success from the perspective of it made Sony want to jump into that market, and it made Xbox want to jump into that market. That to me is the definition of a success. Like in sports, if you make people adapt to the way you play, you're a star player. Like when you're a star player, you don't adapt to the defense. You make the defense adapt to you. And the Wii made all their competition adapt to them, even if they were in another lane. They made them have to switch up their business model because of their success. So that's why I consider it a success.
Well, with making the Kinect and stuff like that.
Well, the PlayStation Move and then the Kinect, yeah.
And the PlayStation Move that no one ever uses.
Yeah, but
right. I don't know why Xbox.
They made them try. Is the point.
Right.
But I think we're missing the obvious thing here. Is that it's not that they made them try this thing. Is that they made them try to get the wider blue ocean market with the strategy that worked for Nintendo. I mean, the success was that they brought a bunch of new people in who weren't traditional gamers. That was a success. Not necessarily for hardcore gamers, an old audience they were necessarily being successful, or bringing, you know what I mean, or getting third-party support on there, or doing all the stuff that they failed at before, like better online services. What they did was selling it to grandma and to sorority houses, you name it, just like they brought it to everyone else. We should do that and make it more casual. But then by the time Sony and Xbox jumped in on that, the Wii U was already the Wii was already in decline, and those people put that thing in their closet and said, "We're done playing at that game. Who cares anymore?" Then notice I didn't say console.
How much money it cost Sony to create the PlayStation Move?
Not a lot.
They do that all the time, though. That's just like I used to make the. I mean, I think when Brody was here, he used to talk about this. Like, what's the gimmick of this year? That's just what Sony does every year. This year we're pushing 3D. Oh, 3D TVs don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Nobody cares
right.
about it anymore. Okay, drop it. This year we're doing.
Yeah, now it's all 1080p.
Hell, they did it with the Vita.
Yeah, no, it's 1080p.
4K.
And the frame rate 900 frames per whatever, 60 frames per second, and like that's what everybody cares about this year. It seems like is the resolution of the games on the next gen consoles. Like
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck about if it's 900, 1080, 6. I don't give a shit. Like you can't tell the difference. If I'm sitting there playing FIFA in 900 DPI or 1080 DPI, like I can't tell the difference, and neither can you. So shut the fuck up.
And my whole thing is, if they really care that much, just get a PC. Stop pussyfooting. Like, don't come in here with PC arguments. Then as soon as a PC guy jumps in the comment section and go, no, you stay over there. This is between us. Like, no, bruh. He got a point, too. He basically calling y'all hypocrites. And I don't blame him for calling y'all hypocrites. I just enjoy my games, on the system I have. So, I don't get it. The fanboy wars is never going to stop. And we're going to always have parity because at the end of the day, Xbox has things Sony doesn't have. Sony has things Xbox doesn't have. Even the Wii U has things neither one of those two have. So it's going to always be that way. I don't know why people care so much when it's Assassin's Creed. All of a sudden everyone was going to buy Assassin's Creed Unity, I swear it wasn't this many people saying they was going to buy Unity until that news came up. Then it was like, oh my God, I'm boycotting. Oh, Ubisoft, the worst company of the year. Like, it's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
People want to validate purchases. Their validate the right choice.
Exactly.
But
So
it's
screw
about
them.
the game, though.
Yeah, right. It's about the game. So screw those mass market fucking annoying fanboys or whatever that only care about graphics and don't care about. Like I'd rather sit and play Final Fantasy VI, on Super Nintendo than some of the games that are out today, So anyway, moving along. Last bit of news. Just because there's some other stuff, but I want to get to the topic quick. Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition. I know Manny as well. Me and him have always been huge advocates for this game. If you haven't played it, I suggest you go out and get a copy immediately. It's a fantastic game, and the Definitive Edition kind of twerked everything. I mean, there wasn't much wrong with that game, and the Definitive Edition kind of clears up some of the visuals, some of the other graphical type stuff, adds a few different little elements, I think, into it. I'm not sure exactly.
No, they add all the DLC.
Right, all the DLC is now part of the actual game. It's just a fantastic game, and I really suggest you pick it up. If you guys have, Dave, have you played it? Or, I know, Charles, you haven't played it, right? It's on your hit list. Sleeping Dogs? Sleeping Dogs?
Sleepy Dogs? No, I have not played it yet.
Doge? Sleeping Doges?
I haven't played it either.
Dogs.
And Dave, you haven't played it, right? No?
I think he said no, right?
No, I haven't played it either.
No. Okay. Well, if you like Grand Theft Auto and you like Chinese people beating the shit out of each other, then this is definitely a game for you. It's got much more hand-to-hand combat than a Grand Theft Auto type game, but you do still have the driving elements, the mission style type stuff, and some of the kills are Manhunt-esque as well too. You use a lot of the environments to assassinate people, which is pretty cool. So that'll do it for the news. So we're going to get over to our topic here, which is our favorite quest sites. I think everybody's got a very short list. So let's start off with Charles. Charlie, what do you got for us? What's your number one?
I'm going to go ahead and drop the first side quest in the Nibelheim Manor in Final Fantasy VII, where spoilers, you get Vincent.
Wait, what?
Vincent.
Oh, Vincent, right.
Yeah, you get Vincent. If you skip the side quest, you don't get Vincent. Vincent, congratulations, you've just nerfed your party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You foregoed on one of the best.
Yeah, one of the things that I liked about Final Fantasy VII was the fact that you can get these characters, or you can just miss them entirely if you're not paying attention, which sort of forces you to pay attention to the story and the environment, because if you don't, then you miss out on certain characters. I believe those ones would be Yuffie, whom I never use, and
she's cool for you.
Vincent, and I think that's it.
Yuffie had good. She had good, stuff, kind of.
No.
I'm not gonna lie. I only liked Yuffie and Advent Children.
That was the only time you liked her? Wait, what?
Well, she would have been a couple years older then, which means...
Yeah, she was in that movie. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, that was
okay.
an interesting sort of side quest. He's an interesting character with a lot of his own problems. And there's actually a second side quest in that same manner. If you go back to it in the third disc.
What?
So
I'm unfamiliar.
There's a lot of content that's hiding in that building that you may never actually see if you're not paying attention or trying to find it.
Really?
Yeah, there's the second side quest in that mission that reveals the origins of Zack.
Oh, okay. Like, yeah, the buddy from that was on whatchamacallit with him.
Crisis Core?
Cloud, yeah. The black-haired.
Yeah, you lose that on a lot of the meaning of the game. Like, things make a lot more sense if you actually do that mission. But without doing it, like, if you skip that mission, you won't get a lot of the things. Like, you won't understand why Cloud lies about his identity.
Right.
And honestly, you don't really understand exactly why until you play Crisis Core, which is a game that was made afterwards for, I believe, the PSP.
I caught the pun you put in there. You said exactly. Ugh, that was a nice one.
I did that entirely by accident. I love puns.
Yeah, puns are fun. Tons of puns.
Tons of puns. All right, who wants to go next?
I think Manny should go next.
I didn't prepare anything for this. I don't know anything about that.
Well, just pick any.
The best I can say is just the Fallout 3, Oblivion, Skyrim, the Bethesda games, where it really is all about the side quests. That's like the reason why you're there is for the side quests. That's the part that is usually the most interesting, the most varied. It's what gives you the freedom that you can jump from side quest to side quest, and there's so many of it that you could just be walking around and you'll stumble into this like elaborate quest that you had no idea was there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my pick.
Good call, Manny. What about you, David?
To piggyback on what Manny said, Manny is so clairvoyant. I was definitely going to go the Skyrim route. My first pick would have to be the Dark Brotherhood side quest from Skyrim. I didn't even play this. Yeah, I didn't even play this side quest my first playthrough, actually. I played my second pick the first way through, but I'm not going to name that yet. But so my second way through, I went through this. I was on GameFAQs, and I'm looking at all these different side quests that I've never heard of. I'm like, what? There's these side quests. So it basically says talk to this one guy. So I did that. Now I'm thinking, okay, so when is this going to happen? So I'm waiting, nothing's happening. All of a sudden, I fall asleep at camp. Next thing I know, I wake up in some abandoned building with some chick hanging from a wall with a balaclava over her face, and I'm like handcuffed, and there's like two other dudes with me. And she basically says, kill these other two, and you can join. So you kill those two guys, take their stuff, and then they invite you to this cave. You go inside the cave, you meet the leader, who's this black guy who's pretty badass, And basically the story, I'm not trying to really spoil it, but essentially there is some type of coup d'etat, if you will. Someone basically is the snitch of the group. You find out who it is when it's too late, and you got to go and kill him. And it makes it so entertaining because he essentially turns all of your people against you until you prove yourself to be the person that wasn't who he claimed that you was. And then in doing so, he wipes out everyone in the Dark Brotherhood but you and him, and you have to go and get revenge for your fallen comrades. And when you kill him, that's when they give you the suit of the new leader of the Dark Brotherhood. And that's when you become a total badass. You look like a Power Ranger. You walk around with just a one-piece suit on. You know, it just looks like the rawest suit. Like, I just can't explain how raw that suit is. And once you get that suit, I think you're, I don't know if your dual sword skills go up, I think. I could be wrong with that, but it's something that after you complete the Dark Brotherhood story mode or whatever, it helps some skills go all the way up, and you become just like this boss. And basically, the last mission before, like, you know, everybody turned on each other, you had to assassinate, I believe, the king of Skyrim. I could be wrong, but you had to basically swim underwater, climb up this ladder on this ship, sneak in there, kill everybody in the ship, and then kill him. And then when you do that, it's just one of the most fulfilling missions on the game because you're literally against an entire boat by yourself. And everybody's after you. The minute you get spotted by that first guy, everyone's after you. And it's just a lot of clever missions that they put into it. A lot of, you know, since Dark Brotherhood, you're really just training to be an assassin. They got this one mission you got to do where you got to sneak into this wedding, like on some Assassin's Creed type shit, and you got to kill somebody right after they get married. Like, it's so fun, man. It's definitely top 5, but it was only one of the 2 I could think of for today.
Okay, well, that's definitely a good choice there. For me, I went with Manny. You might want to mute me now, but for the memorable moments and stuff from when I was a kid playing. I don't know if I'm I know Manny's a little bit older. Dave, how old are you? We don't even know your actual age.
I'm 23.
Okay, so Dave's a little bit younger. So for me, growing up, you know, the Final Fantasy series was really big. It was the first RPG that I really got into or whatever. So some of the side quests in 7, some of the main bosses of the side quests, like Ruby Weapon, Emerald Weapon, stuff like that. I remember spending hours and hours and hours trying to beat them with my friends, by myself. It was the first time that I actually experienced what was considered, I guess, to be a side quest, because it was something that was hidden, you know, and that was kind of right around the time when, I mean, I don't even think the internet was very popular still, and you had Game Informer, and, you know, like, you could try to find the location on the map, and it was a nightmare. I remember trying to hover the airship over and find that shit. Like, it was crazy. So for me, that's going to be one of my choices, just because of that. And I'd pick Blitzball too from Final Fantasy X because I spent a lot of time playing the Blitzball. So let's bring David left. No, David's back. Okay. Everybody went through their first one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Charles. Back to you.
All right. Try to think of another side quest. I haven't played a lot of games with side quests lately. I've never actually played a full playthrough of Skyrim. Just haven't had the time or whatever.
Don't feel bad though. I mean, with a game with a game where the side quests are the point, I feel like as long as you play until as long as if you you've got your mind like several hundred hours if you do everything.
Yeah.
But I think you would like it a lot though, Charles, because on PC, you know, they got those mods, and man, those graphics look much better on PC.
Yeah, it would help if I had a gaming desktop instead of a gaming laptop. It's not, well, it's a mid-range gaming laptop, so it's not even that great. So it'll handle the game, but it doesn't handle beautiful. So I'm just gonna go on a short comment about side quests, in the fact that most games don't know how to handle side quests. Skyrim, your Skyrim games, basically your Bethesda games that are released, those ones handle side quests relatively well, because there's just a whole bunch of sprawling content that you may never, ever, ever lay your eyes upon. And that's okay, because that's what they've designed. It's a like massive breathing world that you can just do whatever you want in. But a lot of games will have side quests that are they're not necessarily side quests so much as optional ways to progress your character, such as in Borderlands. Borderlands has a lot of additional bounties that you can pick up so that you can get additional rewards or extra experience or money. It's not for the sake of fleshing out the story so much as here's a way for you to earn more money. You should probably do that.
Or what's worse was it just feels like necessary armor or this ammo or these experience points.
Yeah, that's right.
Or you need to do. At that point, it's like, no, that's not side quest. It's just less developed content that you're forcing me to do.
Right.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I don't like about how side quests are handled nowadays, with the exception of Bethesda. Bethesda does a really good job.
You're right. You're totally right. Because if you don't if I skip this
To
side
me,
quest,
a good side quest is one where it doesn't matter what level you are in the game to do it.
Or maybe just some of them. I don't know. I'll maybe take exception to that one, but or how about if you do it because it gives you a great experience, and if you get something cool out of it, that's great. But if you don't have that cool thing, you don't feel like you're deficient for the rest of the game either. You know?
Yeah, like what's a good example of a game where you don't have to do the side quests, but if you don't, you're pretty much worst off. Borderlands is really bad for that, because if you don't do all of the side quests and the side quest missions, you have to instead grind for levels, hit points. That's right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had to spend time in there. I had to go dive into the water, stab a shark, swim away before another one ate me, swim to the bottom, skin it, and do it a few more times, just for the privilege of carrying another weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is something that you would easily need in order to complete the game, but the game is denying this until you do this errand for it.
Pretty much, that's what it felt like. A lot of that stuff. Wait, I need to carry more syringes so I won't die all the time? Okay, now I need to go hunt some dogs. Okay, now I need to go hunt some boars. So now I need to go hunt the special Wait, but I can't hunt the special person until I liberate the specific outpost that has that quest available for me to go hunt this rare animal. So now I can't even finish this side quest until I start these other side quests.
Mm-hmm. Sounds about right.
So is it kind of like that Assassin's Creed where you have to go on top of the tower to unlock the area kind of thing?
Well, you don't have to unlock the areas by climbing those towers in Far Cry 3, but it really helps.
Say you don't have to, but then it's like you can't even see the roads to drive along. Like, should I turn left or right to get to the next place? I don't know.
Yeah, and those ones are relatively simple anyway, so you might as well. Like, there's very little reward for doing those quests, because they're particularly those tower ones. They're not challenging. You follow the path up the tower to unlock the map for the region, but
sometimes
they're
it feels
necessary.
Easy work though when you're trying kind of like balance along the beam to get home.
That was the.
or
That
you slip.
was the.
Then
Yeah, that was.
then it's just your reaction time to hit the predetermined button on the QuickTime event. It's not challenging.
What, did you slip off?
Yeah, I
Eric?
didn't. Oh, dude, there were multiple times where it was like you're looking for the little strand of rope to grab onto, or
Yeah, jump and then jump again. Really hit A and then hit A really quick so you can grab onto the rope. Oh, you didn't hit A fast enough. Sorry. Climb to the
you're
top again.
all the way to the bottom. Yeah, and what was the I'm trying to remember because it's been a while, but your reward was that you opened up the electrical box at the top, and then you zip line. You got a cool little 20-second zip line out of it.
Yeah. Oh, and now you can see where the base is that you need to go hit, so you can fast travel and not have to drive across the map all the damn time.
Oh, right. Fast travel. That's what it was about too. Although I did appreciate the hang gliding aspect to that game. I thought that was kind of cool.
That was good side quest content. You didn't have to find those things, but when you found them, you felt really sore over the.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You can go so.
Finding.
I feel like there's a good game trapped in there under a lot of bullshit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, even just trying to find all those little tiki statues and stuff too was a pain in the ass.
Blame Ubisoft.
It's all Ubisoft's fault.
Good old
Worst company ever. We're not even mad at EA anymore.
Right?
Our attention is so
short.
short that we can only hate one thing at a time.
It's true. It's true. Okay, so Charles, that was your second pick there. Manny,
Yeah,
what's yours?
Brandon.
Anything else?
I legitimately do not have anything.
Okay. Dave, you got anything else you want to hit on?
Oh yeah,
That you
definitely. My other side quest would be from Skyrim as well, College of Winterhold.
Yes. I did.
And I love this one. I love this one because it was my first playthrough one, and it was the one that really had me like, oh man, like this is deeper than I thought. You did a lot of dungeons. You the guy that I didn't like from the get-go was the guy I got to kill at the end, and it felt so fulfilling. I hated that douchebag. Like,
everyone's big spoilers for all of these side quests.
Right, every time.
But you know, it's funny that you say that though, because when I went through the Winter College, I thought at least.
Yeah, it was disappointing because the villain was kind of like he wasn't as powerful as I thought he was going to be.
The entire arc,
Oh.
the length of it, I thought it was like it was over so quick. I'm like, it's over already.
Yeah.
That was the mystery. What? Are you serious? Because you have to. Did you guys play Oblivion before you played Skyrim?
I'll admit, my first time playing Elder Scrolls was Skyrim, and that's why it blew my head. So
because when I came from Oblivion to Skyrim, I felt like all of the main quest line, like the Fighters Guild, the Mages Guild, even if they didn't call them that, I thought they were so much weaker and just like this. I think that's a common. I feel like I picked Oblivion and or Morrowind, and then came to Skyrim, and like, man, those main quest lines are really terrible, weren't they? Like, yeah, they were over way too quickly, and they were kind of lame. Because like in Oblivion, the entire Mages Guild quest line was this big elaborate thing where you had to earn your right to even be invited to the Mages Guild, and that involved like multiple steps just to even earn an invite. Then once you earned an invite, you had to do a bunch of little things, and it was big, like overthrow this big quest that could have been its own game in its own right. It was like maybe like a 10-hour more quest line where you're trying to deal with these with the mages guild and necromancers, and it becomes this whole big thing. And excuse me, I want to take this phone call.
yeah, I agree. College of Winterhold. I mean, okay, yeah, I see where he's coming from, but it holds an endearing part of my heart because it was the first side quest I ever did, and not only that, I actually like the older guy, the older mage that was kind of schooling you and kind of making you his apprentice. I liked him, and the way they did him and killed him off, I felt some type of way about that. Like I legitimately was emotionally charged into, man, you gonna get rid of my guy like that? Like that pissed me off, and I like the fact that you got to wear his robe at the end of the mission. I thought that was cool. It made me feel like, you know what? I was truly his apprentice. I get to rock his robe. I'm the man, you know. But I will admit though, the missions they had you do felt real tedious. Like there was like this mission where you had to go out in the snow, like right outside Winterhold, and you had to fight these little balls of little light that kept flying around. I forgot what mission that was exactly, but
Was I
it was
muted?
like that. Wait, huh?
Yeah,
You did the
Alright.
Charles maneuver.
But yeah, you can keep going though, bro.
No. It was just interesting that you guys liked it because I felt like going in, I was like, oh, that was. I guess that's over. I'm the mage of the guild now.
Just because I didn't play Oblivion,
That's
I
what
gotta
felt
play
like.
Oblivion now. You just made me want to play it now.
No, I mean all of the quest lines were like that. The Fighters Guild was this big involved thing, where like it sort of made sense. It's why I time rushed, and I felt like an thanks, I guess. It was like really quick. But like even like the arena where like you came into the arena and were just fighting people. There's like this big. There was a side quest within that side quest to find out more about your main rival, and these just felt kind of short and to the point. I felt like they spent more time actually not on the main side, not on the main like guild quests, but on like stuff like the Daedric quest, the day quests. You know, like the day like those felt far more developed. But no, but hey, but if you guys thought it was cool, that's great. I'm just throwing out the other perspective.
Oh yeah, man. I definitely, it had to just do with the fact that I absolutely hated that guy. And when you can get me to absolutely hate a villain, you're doing a good job to me. Like, I absolutely hated that guy. He was a prick from the get-go. He's like, who is this guy? Just stumbling into the college thinking he's going to get an apprenticeship. And then you got all those dudes when you go up them steps and you got that room where everybody got their beds and stuff. You go in people's rooms. I remember I used to steal gems from people when they weren't looking, and they'd be like, hey! And then they start chasing me. Like, it was funny to me. Like, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, but if you like that one, then if you could probably pick up Oblivion for like a song. Then you will absolutely love the Mages Guild because the Winterhold College felt small compared to them. Because not only that though, there was one mage thing in the corner. In Oblivion, every major city had a Mages Guild regional hall with their own characters and personality and quests within that one. And then there was the main one in the Imperial City with the giant tower and all the stuff going on. And it was like this big elaborate thing where they had like battle mages and you could go out on quests to the battle.
Wasn't there a reason why Skyrim didn't have very much magic though? It was because they weren't prone to magic in the first place.
Yeah, I know, the Nords. That's why I guess a lot of people were disappointed because like if you were a magician and you want your mage quest line, that's all you really got. And you're like, oh, you know.
Yeah, Skyrim was all about swords and battle axes, for real, for real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like where they put their effort was like the Civil War stuff, clearly.
Right.
What was the name of that guy? What was the name of that guy?
Stormcloak?
Oh yeah, he was so funny to me, man. But his right hand man was such a jackass. Like he made me my second playthrough run for the Imperials because I just couldn't stand that fat guy. Like I was like, bro, you gonna make me have to kill you in this throne room, bro. You just keep talking, bro. Just keep eating, bro. Like, what's the problem, bro? Like, but yeah, definitely though. That Civil War mission though, that was cracking. That was, man, when everybody was just battling all around you and you could just pick who you want to fight and you got your army with you. And you can, man, that was, man. Now that was some Witcher 2 kind of stuff right there.
I think those are the elements that make those games so appealing. You know, it's just the chaos moments, you know, where it's just like, you know, which is what I was looking for in a lot of the Lord of the Rings games that I never really got in a fulfilling way.
Speaking of side quests, anyone hear about Shadows of Mordor?
Heard about it.
One of the things that I heard that you're capable of doing is like sort of sponsoring an orc or like having some sort of mind control over an orc, and you can have like promote them through the orc army's like system somehow and use that to your advantage, I guess. But like I said, I've never played the game, but apparently that's something that you can do that's not necessary, but it's just a sort of thing that they've added into the game. That would be something where side quests would be interesting because you have your own reward and payoff there.
You can kind of like infiltrate like their ranks and stuff as an orc, or have an orc working for you, pretty much to that shit.
Man,
that's pretty cool.
All I want is a Shadow of Mordor kind of like gameplay, but put in a Knights of the Old Republic universe, and that would blow everyone's mind, man. That would blow everybody's mind. Everyone will buy that game. If not Battlefield, everybody will buy that.
I think you got something you got to work on then, David.
Disney's slipping, man. I mean, they got all these IPs. They got Marvel. Man, they got a monopoly on the game. Where are these games at? I'm tired of looking at all these little toys. Oh, do you want to play the game, Billy? Like, come on, bro. Like, whatever happened to, X-Men Legends? Classic game. Now all we get is Lego Marvel? Like, come on, bro. Like,
you know what they want? They want money to come in a recurring manner. So things like selling the Infinity little statuettes, or think Skylanders, where you buy the characters so that you can play as them. They just want to be able to have a means of making more and more and more money with as little effort as possible.
I'll is a good game. Just because it's not targeted at you doesn't mean it's a bad one. It's like legitimately a good, fun, open-world game. And Disney Infinity, people work really hard on that project. They actually are working hard all the time, and they've made a decent quality game. But like I said, just because that's the thing, though, right? If you don't like something, it sucks. Isn't that the way it works?
Well, no,
it doesn't suck to me. It's just that X-Men Legends, man.
Yeah, and I hear what you're saying, bro.
I'm not trying to. I apologize. I must have worded that incorrectly.
No, because they said it was as little effort as possible.
I'm not trying to Well, it's as little effort as possible on behalf of the publisher to earn as much money as possible. So.
You mean they want to
money capita here, where they force you to. Force. They make you buy the additional characters on top of the asking price of the game.
But that's the whole gimmick, though. I mean, you know that going in is that I want the toy because I want the toy, and I want the game because the game and the toy work together. Do you know what? It's like I feel like no one's getting tricked here because we all know going in, you buy the little toys, and then I have the fun toy, and then I can put it on the gamepad and play them when I get home.
It's true.
So I've been to the mall. I see, because I'm just like, well, they're waiting for their mom or dad to finish up what they're doing.
I guess I'm missing the novelty of this.
Because we're not little kids.
Yeah.
But imagine as a 5-year-old that someone told you that you can put your action figure that you're holding in your head into a video game. And like just put them there, and like magic, your action figure jumps into the video game, and then when you pull them off, it remembers all the stuff.
I want to find the person who invented this, congratulate them, and then immediately slay them. Because it's brilliant and it's evil.
It's like
all wrapped up.
Is that our favorite Transformers? We can build them, and then we put them on top of our Nintendo, and they jump into the game and they do stuff, and like based on how we built it or what we did with it, it'll do different things in the game. And then when we pull it off, it'll remember all that stuff when we bring it to our friend's house, and then put our action figure into his game.
Mm-hmm.
That shit would have been, it would have been insane. It would have been over.
Oh yeah, we would have loved it if we were kids. This whole thing is, going back to the Lego thing is, it's like that game holds your hand so much. Like it has RPG elements.
It is a fun game.
Oh no, it's fun, but it holds your hand. It's like, oh well, you have to go over here and hold down circle to build this thing. And then you go over there, you build it. Okay, now you got to aim that thing at this boss to take him out and use his Lego pieces. It's like, yo, what happened to X-Men Legends where you got to choose out of all these different X-Men for your 4-man squad, which I know the Lego one does, but I'm saying like you got those special skills. You got to level up. You got to choose which special skills you wanted for each button. You had missions where you had to free
hamburger joint and saying like, man, what happened? What, the hot dogs? Remember hot dogs? Like, yeah, man, hot dogs are great, but this is the hamburger joint. You know what I mean?
I'm like, man, they can make another X-Men Legends, man. They
Yes.
can do it, man.
That's a hamburger joint you're talking about. Enjoy the hamburger.
Man.
They are completely different kinds of games. The only thing that they have in common is that they share a license. It's like me complaining about, man, screw Marvel, Lego. Remember the days we were playing Marvel vs. the Capcom? Why are they doing stuff? They're not even close to the same thing. You're just it's like me complaining about like, they're not the same thing, man. Just because it says Star Wars on the label, does that mean all Star Wars things are created equal?
But I mean, like, man, if they can make a Lego Batman and still make Batman Arkham Asylum, why can't they make X-Men Legends and Lego Marvel? Like, what's the problem?
That's a company. You need to talk to the companies, and there is that game does exist already right now. You can play right now. There's a newer one. It's a free-to-play game right now, and it has a lot of those mechanics that you want.
You talking about DC Universe? Or?
I can't remember the name, but I know there's a free-to-play game right now that's like the X-Men. Let me see. Maybe DC. Yeah, I don't remember, but let me find out. You're saying DC
Universe.
or Marvel?
I remember Xbox was initially trying to have their own Marvel Universe online game, but they scrapped it.
Yeah, Marvel Heroes.
What system is it?
Google that, Marvel Heroes. I think the website's like Marvel Heroes 2015.
Oh, it's coming out next year.
And it's like, no, it's on right now. I mean, it's out now. It came out in 2013. It has all. It's like the game you're talking about, sort of like Diablo, but with Marvel superheroes, free to play. Spend a couple bucks, get the character exactly you want.
Oh, they got micro DLC though.
You're mixing your terms, man.
See, that's another reason why I don't like this Skyland and stuff. They taxing these kids, man. They making so much money. It's like, yo, just give me one X-Men Legends, man. Just one. Yeah. Like, and give me it with the universe we got right now with like the Days of Future Past actors, man. You can't tell me that game wouldn't go hard, man. Like Marvel, let's keep it 100.
I can actually tell you that game would not go hard because
I mean, don't base it off the movie though. That's a bad decision. Don't base it off the movie though.
I don't know, man. It just sounds like you're saying, I wish these people would make these games that I want specifically. And that's all I'm hearing right now. Stop making games I don't want and make games I do.
X-Men Legends was a game that me and my older brothers...
doing the thing that I don't want you to do?
What?
The thing I want you to do?
That's a...
Well, yeah, in a way, everyone feels that way, yeah.
If you can find, like, I don't know, like 100,000 other people who think exactly the same way as you, I'm sure you could convince them.
Right, we just need what's it called, a startup?
No.
Kickstarter. Do a Kickstarter.
Email petition.
Yeah, there we go. We have to get a presidential order.
Obama only cares about sports. He's not going to go.
Why don't you just make an X-Men sport game?
You know, but what will Wolverine do, though? Like, he'd be good for football.
That's what he does.
He can just play hockey.
Wolverine will be a kick-ass running back. Like, who's tackling Adam
No, he's
Ante?
Canadian, man. He only plays
hockey. He's hockey.
Oh, Logan is Canadian?
Yeah, he's Canadian.
Yeah, Wolverine is Canadian.
Wow.
Canadian is F. He works with the Canadian Special Forces on occasion.
I didn't know that. See? That's why I like this podcast.
Yeah, you'd be a hockey player.
Wolverine.
You'd be a mean
He wouldn't even have to take off his skate to stab somebody. Right, Eric?
What's up?
No, I was just saying he wouldn't have to like Happy Gilmore. He wouldn't have to take off his skate to stab anybody.
No, he wouldn't have to he wouldn't have to stab anyone or have the most penalty minutes. He might have the most penalty minutes.
Oh, he'll probably.
Remember that Happy Gilmore?
Oh no,
I'm the only hockey player.
And try to stab
Wolverine gonna get banned, man. Yeah, he gonna get banned, bro. One punch, he gonna knock someone dead out through the mask. Be over with quick. It'd be like, damn, he just gave us a concussion. We punched him.
So my last one here, I wanted to hit on just a couple games that had good side quests to me that you kind of, I think, forget about when you think of side quests. One of those being Red Dead Redemption. That game found a way to make the side quests. Again, Rockstar, I think, really has that nailed down. Where they take the open world, they know that they have to be semi-repetitive in nature because they only have so much to work with, but they keep the storyline and the characters interesting enough to where there was one side mission, I don't know if you remember it, where you had to help somebody's ghost find his body that was murdered by these guys on like a stagecoach. Do you guys play the Red Dead Redemption at all? Remember that side quest at all? What?
I played the whole.
Yeah, he was the old guy that was chilling out in front of that church. Remember that creepy church that people always said that there was like you'd be able to see the devil, like if you did some kind of crazy thing
Was
inside
it the
of
thing
it.
that you didn't know he was a ghost at the time, but then he'd like disappear?
Right.
Was he a ghost? Like that? One of like those bad TV shows?
Yeah, right, where he just kind of like faded away and dissipated into the air.
I don't remember that part, but
Yeah,
sure.
They were fun. There was another one where a woman was she had like sun poisoning, and she made you go off and like get all this shit or whatever. When you came back and gave her like the medicine and stuff that she needed, you realized that she just had sunstroke and was like her brain was fried, and he just left her for dead in the desert. And then when you got to the crazier stuff where you're hunting wolves and stuff in the mountains, and then there was the thing about finding Bigfoot in the game. Bigfoot was supposedly in the game somewhere.
Oh, you're mixing your Undead Nightmare with the Red Dead Redemption.
No, that's Red Dead Redemption, dude. It's in both. There was also supposed Bigfoot sightings in other Rockstar games too, like Grand Theft.
But I mean, like in Red Dead and Undead Nightmare, you actually talk to the Sasquatch. Remember?
Well, I didn't play Undead Nightmare for that long. I played maybe a couple hours of it, but yeah, I didn't. You actually talked to Sasquatch?
Yep.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, you can actually see Bigfoot in Call of Duty Ghosts as well. That's like a little Easter egg. If you like shoot a specific tree and then turn around, you'll see them run off. It's pretty trippy.
Yeah, that seems to be a running gag, I guess, with a lot of these games is the Bigfoot element, and shooting the moon, being able to do that in Grand Theft Auto. Vice City had a lot of good stuff too, a lot of side quest rumor type stuff or whatever. Another one that was pretty prominent for me was Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time. They had side quests that were very compelling, and they actually felt like they were part of the game and not really side quests because they tied in so well. That's what I think really makes the side quest stand apart, is something that takes you away from the main story but doesn't pull you in a completely crazy, where it has nothing to do with what's going on. You don't get any reward, you don't get anything out of it, where if you're going to spend your time doing it, you at least have a tie into the story at some point, so you learn something new, or you know what I mean? Like, sorry, my cat's going ape shit behind me. Hey,
Kill her.
I'm gonna skin him.
Well,
So that's pretty much mine. I mean, there's so many that I'm probably forgetting.
I've actually got another side quest, but this doesn't really count as a side quest. It's kind of like another game mode, but it's just so much. It's so amazing that I had to include it. It was basically Metal Gear Online from Metal Gear Solid 4. Now, this was an online feature that was slept on by a lot of people, but when I tell you it was one of those game modes where I didn't feel the need to play Call of Duty when I had Metal Gear Online, just because of, okay, you had the level up factor of the game. You had the fact that if you were trash, you leveled down in the game. So it made you always stay on your toes.
Okay.
It was third person, of course, like Metal Gear. People are sneaking like Metal Gear. And it was a skill gap to the game where, you had to know how to crawl up on someone, click R1, slam them, and then real quick L1 R2 to stab him. Because if you didn't, he would be on his back. He would press a button to move to his belly, get up and run off, and then shoot you. You had to be real quick. And it's a lot of dark areas in the game. It had a lot of good maps, a lot of big spacious maps. But man, it was one of those game modes where I actually spent that money to have extra character slots to unlock not Otacon, but Liquid Snake, Ocelot.
Wait, man, hold up. Weren't you just 5 minutes ago talking about micro DLC or whatever, talking about how it's all BS?
Oh yeah, but see, I stopped doing it. You know, I learned my lesson. But when it comes to Metal Gear Online, no, I'm not gonna lie.
It's okay when it's a game that I like and that I support. It's cool. It's no problem. That bullshit. What's wrong with you developers? What you doing?
I mean, this was like, oh wait, you know, I've matured heavily since then. But still, though, like when I tell you, it was amazing. Like it was one of those games where paying didn't give you an unfair advantage. It just changed if, you know what I'm saying, you could start off a match with a certain character from the Metal Gear Solid world or not, and they all had their own special abilities too. You know, Liquid Snake or Liquid Ocelot, if you will, he would do this move where he would just point at you with his fingers and he'd just go bang. And then if he aimed it correctly at you, you died instantly. But it was one of those things where it took him so long to reach his arm out and say bang that it was damn near impossible to get people with the move. And then you had Mei Ling. She could call out an airstrike. All she had to do was basically aim where she wanted to strike it and then aim it. But the thing about that is it takes like I said, it takes time. It took like 5 seconds to get this airstrike to drop. Most people would just dodge it and kill her by then. You know what I'm saying? It was just, man, it was just amazing. Like, I really hope on Phantom Pain they bring back Metal Gear Online, because that's a true cult following, that online community. Those guys, man, they're serious about that game. And like the way you could just click L2, switch to a box, click L2 again, pop out, shoot someone, like that took a lot of skill too. Because when someone switches to a box, there was people that would get specific game pads, and they would actually use mouse and keyboard on the game on PS3 or whatever. And it would make them way better because they had aimbot, stuff like that. And man, if you couldn't shoot them in that box, you knew when they popped out, you got a headshot put on you. Like, it was pretty fun. Like, I'm not even gonna stunt. But yeah, you had all the weapons you could think of from the story mode. You had claymores, all that stuff. But it was just a huge skill gap to the game, which made it fun. And they had this game mode, let me not forget, called Team Sneaking, where one team is completely invisible, and all you can see is their weapon. And then the other team is visible, but they have weapons that can kill, whereas the other team only has weapons that can put you to sleep. So it made it real fun. I was just a team sneaking guy because I liked, you know what I'm saying, looking for shadows and shooting people, you know, because it's very difficult. It's like, yo, is that a dude or is that not a dude? And not only that, you got to shoot him before he shoots you, because, you know, if he puts you to sleep, you know, he picks your body up, drops you, picks you up again, drops you. He can take all your weapons. Then he can kill you. Now he's invisible with an AK-47. Like, it was crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, I didn't even know that game existed.
Yeah, it's a game mode that was on Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah, I gotta peep that.
And from what I'm being told, it was actually also on Snake Eater, but it went over my head. I didn't even know it was a Metal Gear Online on PlayStation 2.
Did anybody else here play that? Manny or Charles? You guys?
I played the beta and I played the other thing. I thought that game had no staying power whatsoever. I thought it was so lame and I left. Are those servers even up anymore? I thought those closed servers years ago.
Yeah, they closed them years ago.
Yeah, you can't even try it if you want to, Eric.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I had this eerie suspicion that they're working on it for Phantom Pain and they about to have that shit raw. But I hope they bring it back. I thought they were gonna, you know, package it in with Ground Zeroes to just add more content to that game, but they didn't. So.
I legitimately hope they do not, 100%, because Kojima is like they have unlimited money or a gigantic studio. And I think they spent a lot of time and effort on a mode that ended up being very popular among a very small specific group of people. And I hope they don't take away any resources from the big thing and make that as grand and as amazing as they possibly can. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, sometimes, like, a lot of games get multiplayer modes that like, remember Dead Space 2? They spent a lot of time and resources and effort making this big multiplayer mode that nobody played. I mean, it wasn't bad. That's the thing, though. A lot of these multiplayer modes aren't bad. And there are, like, definitely a group of people who love it and play it, but they're just so tiny and small that it's almost like, just give me the great single player game that, the thing that we love and that we came here for. Make that better. Spend that money and that effort and that team making that game better. And do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And there was one other game mode in Metal Gear Online that really put it over the top, which made it kind of that game that you wanted to play every Wednesday or Thursday night. It was called Survival. Basically, you, 5 of your friends, get a 6-man squad, and basically it's an elimination tournament going on all night. So let's say you play against one team, you win a best out of 7 maybe. You eliminate them. Then it's like a reverse fixture, kind of like in soccer. So you beat them, but depending on how badly you beat them, you play the person who won by the littlest amount of margin in the same round. Then you play them in the next round. And then it keeps going. And basically it keeps going until everyone who played at the same time, there's nothing but 2 teams left. And you could spectate. It was just, man, like... And another thing that was great about the game that really, what I think Call of Duty should really do, this is what Battlefield has been doing, and this is why Battlefield has got a lot of people like it, is the fact you can choose what server you play in. There's no matchmaking. Like, I know a lot of people that just want to be able to, you know what, let me start my own match, my own server, and not be private, or let me make sure I'm the host, you know what I'm saying? Because I know I got a good connection, stuff like that, whereas Call of Duty, they kind of just force you to go, oh, well, you got your party, all right, jump on in. And in most cases, you're not going to find a match unless you're going against 6 people by themselves or another 6-man team.
Yeah. I remember when I was playing Grand Theft Auto Online, I guess it was 4. What was 4? No. Wait, yeah, what was 4 called?
That was the first one.
Okay. Yeah, it was. You were like red or blue. Like separated you onto red or blue teams.
Yeah, and they had and on the expansion they had different modes like cop chase or just.
I remember holding down the airport was always like the hot shit when you were like but you had a crew like 12 people. Sometimes even bigger. I think sometimes it was like 16 on 16. But that's a perfect example of a time when I wish that I could, I had like if you have like 3 or 4 of your boys on, and you want to, play on the same team, it's such a pain in the ass to get everybody to fill into the room while everybody else is trying to join, and if one dies or loses the connection or whatever, they can't get back in. It's a pain in the ass, and I remember that specifically. I mean, I remember back playing Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, where I had a crew of like 6 or 7 dudes that we played together all the time in a clan, and it was hard as shit to get us all together into the same, that was the only way. That was the only way, was to, do the private invites or whatever, where you're all, matchmaking with the party, and that sucked. So
yeah, it always was a pain in the ass trying to find a match when you got you and 5 friends with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you got the tryhards. Thirsty ass tryhards. I mean, don't get me wrong, we're all tryhards to an extent. We all want to win. No one puts on a game and says, oh, I want to lose today. But at the same time, though, like, some people take it way too far. Like, bro, MLG ain't paying you a check, son. Calm down.
Right.
It's going to be all right, bro.
Okay. Well, I think unless anybody has anything else to chime in with for the week, I think that'll pretty much do it for tonight.
Yeah. Any last news stories or any comments or articles? Anything?
I got nothing.
I could be off with the game, but I think someone told me that a Ubisoft game coming out soon. I don't want to just put it on Far Cry. Oh shit!
No, go. We can still hear you.
Would call my phone as soon as I'm talking. Hello? Hello?
Is he answering it?
I think he's answering it.
I think we need to mute him. It's okay though. Nobody watches Gamers Roundtable anyway. So Charles gonna find this annoying in the least.
We're okay. All right. So Charles, did you have? I thought you were trying to say something there.
Nah, distracted with the news today.
What news?
Some Canada news.
Oh,
The
okay.
guy that got shot, maybe? Come on.
Yeah, the shooting in Ottawa on Parliament Hill.
You have any idea how many shootings there are in the United States every
This
single
was
day?
like the third shooting in Ottawa this year.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
year. I like how he says year. It's like this week.
Man, somebody just called my phone as soon as I'm talking. I'm like, damn, bro. But yeah, I don't know if it's Far Cry exactly, but there's supposed to be some Ubisoft game coming out. Ubisoft, they're fucking with my connection. No, I'm playing. But you know, it's supposed to be some Ubisoft game coming out where they're gonna charge you DLC money to play multiplayer. I think it might be Far Cry. I could be off, but like I
What do you
heard
mean
the
DLC money?
well, you're gonna have to pay to play multiplayer.
You mean like a subscription fee?
No, just pay extra, like, you know, for the mode of multiplayer, for like a 6v6 or something. I can't remember
that's
what, like, I
fine.
think co-op is free, but I think they told me you have to pay extra for the team
Who told you
deathmatch kind
this,
of
though?
stuff.
Where'd you hear this?
You know, I know it for a fact is Ubisoft, but I don't want to just pin it on Far Cry, but I heard it on the
No,
podcast
but you
recently.
said somebody told me. Who told you? Like, I mean,
Yeah, it was
where
a
are you getting
podcast.
this news from?
Where's your source?
My source is this was probably who told me that? It was probably Buddy ass. What's Buddy name? He on YouTube and shit like that. Dang, this the shout out
Buddy,
podcast and
yes.
shit. Uh, he be on Chase
I
Money
don't know.
thing. Oh, UTX the Prophecy. Him. He said something like that.
Hmm.
Now, I'm not saying he's the most, you know, credible source of all time, but someone told me
Yep.
something similar to that. So I just thought it was something to throw out there before we all, you know, shut it down.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know if it's true. I mean, if it is, that's fine. I mean, if they want to do that and have nobody play their multiplayer mode,
But
whatever.
are you worried
Yeah.
that all this could start its own trend?
no.
No.
Gamers are the worst.
I'm worried that people are going to spend money or are going to spend money on developing these things that aren't going to come to any kind of fruition. That's what I'm worried about. But
Right.
I don't think that I'm worried about people starting up a trend of, hey, pay to play multiplayer, aside from subscription fees.
I do think gamers though need to tea leave readings because they'll take anything as a sign. Like some of their stuff, like some of the anger, so much of this anger that's in the industry, they think that because one thing happened in one scenario for one game, that means what's from everyone in the industry. So that's when like there's a woman in this game, or like or this I have to play microtransactions for this one. Now all games will have women and microtransactions. This game runs at 900p. All games will run 900p now. This is terrible. Why stop this?
$10 for a specific helmet on a first-person shooter he could never see while he's playing the game? He's fucking up the game. That kind of stuff.
That's
No, but
no, that was that.
You were
That's
saying,
just
Charles?
that shit's just gonna keep happening, like microtransactions for cosmetic shit.
Look,
Yeah.
they've been
Something that I don't care.
saying that they've been saying that Facebook is going to charge people to use it, you know, for the past 3 years.
No, that's just
And it never
that's just
happens.
to get content to be shared across multiple people. Yeah, it's never gonna happen.
And you
Oh,
know
did
what?
you-
Though? Let these services do it. Who cares? Let
Look
I mean, let
at how-
Facebook start
look at how-
charging. Everybody will
It
leave.
doesn't matter.
Look
Look
at
at
the
how-
next free one.
Oh my God, Manny! Look at how quickly EA got rid of that. The what the hell was it called? The Play Pass or whatever.
The online.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit
Yep.
was only around for like 6 months, and then they were like, "Oh, well,
It was like it was an experiment
shit was
for
so
1 year.
dumb.
They realized. I get no, but you have to understand too that I mean, you have to see it from. We only see it from our perspective, but for their perspective is they spend a lot of time making these games. Only a handful of people, from their perspective,
Right.
at least you have to consider it's not just. I mean, they have to spend years developing it. They have to pay all these people decent salaries, healthcare, studio costs, and and a bunch of people, a few people buy it on what they want to keep up. Other people buy it used. And I say, as a consumer, that's totally your right. Do what you got to do, man. If games are too expensive, do what you got to do to keep playing them. But from their perspective, it's like, we're spending all this money doing it. So it's like there comes the struggle. Either EA needs to make smaller games that don't cost as much that can account for the fact that a lot of people are buying used, or gamers need to be willing to pay more to keep the games at the same level, or some weird hybrid system where they say maybe this will be a patch or a fix on it, and it's like, oh wait, actually that fixed nothing, just makes people hate us more. So I guess EA's saying, I guess we just got to deal with it. Do you know what I mean?
All they have to do is make all of these games that are available to buy on the PlayStation Store, Xbox Marketplace, 50 instead of 60, and it will change everything. That's all they have to do. Just make it.
I don't think it will.
Everything in a way.
Because
What do you mean change everything?
people that go on Craigslist and get a game for that price instead of buying it for 65, that'll stop the people on eBay from waiting for something to get shipped to them. It will get
but then people will sell it for 40 instead of 50. You're not doing anything other than limiting the content that can be in the game.
Well, but still though, like if you're worried about someone reselling your game and someone else making money off the game you created, the best way to do it is to make the digital copy cheaper.
But then you can also, but then retailers don't like that, because you can't really just straight up cut out GameStop because they're still or Walmart because they're still selling a bunch of your stuff.
Yeah, but deep down, I don't think these developers like GameStop. I think they kind of got one of these.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you wanna. They're like the #1 like video game retailer. It doesn't matter if you don't like the guy you do business. How many people like Walmart that do business with Walmart? They hate Walmart because Walmart's like constrictive. Look how many people hate Apple and still put stuff on Apple. I mean, on the App Store. Do you know what I mean? And now a lot of indie games don't like Steam that much, but they still feel like they got to do it.
But now you have GameStop trying to sell digital codes for games now because they know.
Because they see the writing on the wall that now that broadband is getting easier and more ubiquitous.
I see it as they're doing this because they're worried that if someone else does it first, they'll be fucked. So they're trying to jump into that lane a little bit with 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
People already did it first. Steam has been doing it quite successfully for years.
But that's my point. Like, these systems can be. I mean, no one is gonna be on some humble bundle shit. Okay, let's be real. Like, I mean,
no, a lot of people are on the humble bundle. That is they're more popular and more successful.
Yeah, Humble Bundle is extremely popular. GOG's getting, they're getting set up, and I'm sure they're going to take off to some degree.
No, I didn't mean.
What people like Humble learned is they went the complete opposite way. Is that, you know what? We're not going to win with the EA strategy of locking stuff out or treating our customers like criminals with DRM. That's what GOG's learning with The Witcher as well. They said, you know what? Let's just treat our people with respect. We're going to charge a price that we feel is fair, and we're going to make gamers understand that, hey, we're not a huge studio. If you don't support us and pay us, we are going to go out of business, and we won't be making these games anymore. And they're just straight up, hey, this is how it is. We're going to give you a lot of free crap. We're going to make a great game. We're going to give you free DLC. We're going to do a lot of stuff. But if you don't pay for this stuff, we're just not going to be able to survive this. It feels like a guilt trip, but it's not. It's just the God's honest truth. Pay for what you want, support it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what's really working. That's what EA never did, is they didn't respect their players. They were treating them like criminals, trying to do all these things, these workarounds, because they were scared of losing money to use games. And the way people are, they know, one, they're and want to give them money, because gamers, as cheap as they want to be, if they feel like a connection to the developers and a connection to a studio, and they feel like, you know, these are good people who care about me as a gamer and care about me as a person, they deserve my money. I mean, I have a lot of it, but I'm going to give them my 50, 60, $100, whatever, because I want to see this.
Interject real quick. So do you really believe if they made their digital copies $50 instead of the 60, do you really think GameStop would stop selling their games that were 50 digitally?
It's more like, or maybe they won't order as much.
Yeah,
that's just as bad.
Worse even.
But I mean, you can trade in at Best Buy now. I mean, there's a lot of different choices now than there was before. I mean, it's not like GameStop. I mean, a lot of people, I'm not just going to say generalize.
The reason why they started doing these passes is they were feeling pressure from all over because everyone's getting in the used game business over and over again as it trickles down to the various stores. That's the part they're getting like, we're maintaining these servers for people who never bought our game. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I guess that's why they're moving to the microtransaction model, which is like, hey, fine, you never bought our game, but you can still give us some money. Buy a hat for your stupid guy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It shifted a little bit. I mean, I honestly, I'd probably prefer silly hats over uh, season pass, or was it not even called the season pass? It was
Yeah,
called
online pass, right?
online pass, right? Yeah, more money with the digital hats, even when it's used, than they would have if they would have just bought the game outright. I mean, bought the game
Oh, yeah.
outright. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Well,
I hear what you're saying though, but it's so. All right, go
ahead,
for it,
bro.
man. You got one more.
Go
Then
ahead,
Eric's
bro.
got to go, right? He's got to watch some hockey.
Now go ahead, Manny. I want you to
No, go for
finish
it.
your thought. Oh, okay.
No, there's no
All right.
thought. I'm done. Go for it, man.
The last topic I was going to bring up was there's another Destiny hidden area that has been found on YouTube. And some guys they did a few triple jumps here and there. They ran across a few rails and they found an area that was closed off where they could actually fly through the building. Like the walls are pretty much not even really built in. You can tell it's like a work in progress, but it's another one of these on disc DLCs. And I guess it's from the season pass or whatever, the something of wolves or something like that. And they found it. There's like a flag hanging down with the same logo. And it started another uproar. Destiny, man, I don't get it, man. It's like you got all these places. Why would you even make these places available to navigate and find? You know people are going to be on some, like, you know what, man, I mean, they should have closed these places off because now they're looking real bad, too. It's almost like Activision, Ubisoft. Activision, who wants it? Like,
mm-hmm.
and Bungie, I know it's not all Bungie's fault, but, man, damn, Bungie, y'all had such a great track record, and now it's kind of tarnished.
Why? Because of the.
I don't know about that. I guess track record if you want to say that, sure.
I mean, in terms of just quality, there's people that really love Halo. You know what I'm saying? And now that they're coming out with this Master Chief Collection, I wonder if Bungie gets any money off this or anything.
Probably not, because Microsoft owns the license.
Damn,
Maybe there's some back-end deal. Who knows?
I feel salty as hell if I was the dude who created Mickey Mouse and I ain't getting no money off Kingdom Hearts. I'd be pissed.
Oh.
No, don't worry about that. If anything, F that, because Disney has effectively kind of ruined copyright law because they keep on extending it and making it more restrictive because they keep on wanting to renew their licenses through lobbying. I mean, a lot of public domain does have merits. It does make things, when things enter the public domain, you can do a lot of interesting things
They
with
have
it.
a monopoly on the game, man.
Oh yeah, they just do whatever the fuck they want whenever they want.
Yeah, Disney has so much money. Like copyright used to be what was it, 20, 30 years after an author's death, or the work would go into public domain, and they've extended it 90 years after his death. It's probably gonna get extended again and again and again.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Isn't Walt Disney somewhere in a cryogenic chamber, just frozen, ready to be brought back to life one day or something like that?
That's a rumor.
I believe.
Who the hell knows? All right, fellas.
I don't know, man. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yep, I know Eric's tired. He wants to go home.
It's been a rough day. Okay, well, I appreciate all you guys hopping on here, and next week, I don't really know what our topic is going to be, but we're going to pick something during the week, I guess, and surprise
Brody
everyone.
will have internet by then.
Nah, he probably won't.
No, in Canada, it takes 6 to 8 months to get internet when you want it.
Nah, he'll be back, and I'm sure Zach and Sarah will be back as well. So we might have 9 heads in here.
Man, you need to fire some people.
Yeah,
Safely.
nuts. Definitely. We should just play a big game of something, and then whoever loses gets eliminated from the podcast.
What is this? Survivor?
That's okay. The leftovers can make a new show, not the Gamers Roundtable.
Yeah. Or we could separate it into Canadian and American Gamers Roundtable, and then we could see who does better and who gets more views.
Done. Agreed.
Should just do that one week where all the Americans do one episode and all the Canadians do another episode and see which one gets more views.
Yeah, then you guys
Here's
play
It'll only be about Smash Brothers.
And
I like that. We're competing for more views. Like the difference will be like this video has 2 views. This one has 3. Oh, 1.
Hey, most of our videos have double digits in views at least.
Yeah, be nice.
Oh, that's
man.
when we refresh the page and it counts as one more tick up.
We're just getting going.
Because it ain't that many podcasts out here with people that aren't being, like, their opinions are being bought. We're legit. We're, as Jalen Rose would put it, we're popping the trunk with this podcast.
Oh no, I'm being paid for by Microsoft. Don't be.
So that explains why you defended Call of Duty last week. Done.
Manny left and came back, all thanks to Microsoft.
Yeah, I like they had those PBS shows with a grant from Microsoft.
Well, that's Reading Rainbow.
All of them have
Sponsored by
grants.
video games.
Reading Rainbow was the shit. All right, let's head out. Everybody say their goodbyes. Charles, it was a pleasure having you here.
I'm glad that you guys could tolerate the only Canadian on this episode.
Yep. Well, not for long, but we did it for tonight. So.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, as always, Charles. A pleasure. Dave, thanks again for coming out.
Thank you very much, bro. It was great to be part of my second episode. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think I'd be part of 1. I'm part of 2 now. Gotta be happy for that. Hopefully, we are doing great in Canada. Nothing bad happened. Wishing them the best. Glad my homie Charles, a.k.a. Caps Lock Aficionado, ain't sick anymore. Everybody's in good health.
Yes, thank you for the exclusive. Who had Wednesday afternoon. The official.
You gotta throw out all his AKAs if you're gonna drop bombs like that.
I gotta keep dropping them, But yeah, just live the round table. Long live the round table. A new quote. Long live the round table.
End quote. All right, Dave. Thanks, and Manny. Good seeing you again, buddy. We'll catch up.
I didn't say nothing
next
too
week.
controversial this week. I don't think.
No, you were very tame this week, which is unusual.
I was conducting business,
So,
phone business, man.
hopefully everything's all right over there.
All right, cool. Cool. Later, everybody. I'm out.
All right, take it easy, man.
I'm hanging up on you people.
I'm Eric Miller. You can follow me on Twitter at Eric Miller 3. That's after the K. Don't get it twisted. And Charles, your name is what now?
The AWK.
Okay, Charles has his name down in his little third there, the lower third. You can add him. Dave's is I can never remember what the hell his at is.
Dog Trill. That's at SMIT DAW to the G TRLL. Let's get it cracking.
Man, I didn't know you were such a big Star Trek fan.
Right. He's getting it. Dave's popping off. All right, cool. All right, so again, this is Gamers Roundtable podcast. We're here every week on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and we like having people come on, ask us questions, do all that kind of crazy shit, and we appreciate you guys tuning in. So until next week, keep doing your thing and keep gaming on. See ya.
Turn up.